Welcome back, everyone. William Stuart here of USA Darts alongside me, Mr. Nick Dichiria, the one and only young buck. How's it going tonight, my man?
It's going great. Sorry for the technical difficulties, everyone. The internet has some bad voodoo in the air. And sorry again as well for dealing with me again. Twice in 1 week.
You can't always rely on Spectrum, can you?
Nope. Or Sean Green, for that matter. So that is why Sean is fired today.
No, come on now. Come on now. No, Sean's taking a well-needed rest and relaxation break tonight. We can't blame him at all for that one. Looking forward to tonight's stream, though. Let's get on with it as we've got Brandon Neal taking on Brett Hollinday and what should be a great match. I'm looking forward to this one as we get some good averages. Actually, our number one average in Division 2, that would be Brett Hollinday. And then a couple on treks down the line is Mr. Brandon Neal, who's a current average of 4.59. I guess I should say Brett's, which is a 4.91. So pretty nice averages here. What do you say?
Are you processing what you're saying there? When we looked at the start of the season, it was 4.2 to a 4.4. That was our range. And now you're telling me a 4.6 is going on against a 4.9 here. That's insane. That's actual insanity.
It very well is insane, but it's kind of like I'm used to it at this point. The CSC Challenger Series just brings out the best in everybody, and we're going to see these averages continue, whether it be this season or further on down the line with seasons to come. So lots of action here on USA Darts, as well as partners promoting darts. Of course, this is brought to you by the PPD, so we want to thank them for bringing you this coverage. So give us that like, give us that follow, share this around if you will. We would appreciate that. We're doing, of course, a little technical updates here as we go, so it wouldn't be streaming if we didn't have that going on in the background. But Nick's hard at work doing double duties tonight, both producer and commentary crew.
Well, you know, jack of all trades, master of none. That's kind of my specialty here. But again, thank you everyone for tuning in, supporting us. And right now we're getting right into the diddle. So these players are going to be throwing 3 darts. Whoever scores the most points in those 3 darts gets to go first. After that will be losers start, unless there is going to be, of course, a player's advantage, which is when there's 3 or more legs, the losing player or the winning player will get to go until that deficit is recovered.
Well, nice start for Brandon Neal there, as he leaves himself with 376. And unfortunately, into the trip 5 is Brett Hollinday, who is going to have to start second. So it'll be Brandon Neal to lead us off here, as it looks like he's got a button pusher tonight, buddy.
Well, that's how you know you made it to CSC Acclaim, is when you get the button pusher, you really did make it. Take a picture, send it to mom. Hey, look, ma, I made it. Like, that's exactly what these guys do. Shout out to Brian Henry for starting that trend.
Hey, I like the song reference there. Hey, look, ma, I made it. There you go. Why not? Well, Neal, to start us off, sorry for the crummy voice there. You're going to have to deal with it tonight, as it's Will and Nick in the commentary booth. Right above that trip 20 is Neal. Let's see if he can work it in. He unfortunately cannot. 2 singles off the start for Neal. Brett looking to do some damage right off the start and take this away.
And that's going to be a difference maker. Starting strong, Brandon Neal knows, and he said in his interview, I am the lower average. I am not as strong of a player as Brett. I'm going to have to make up for it by getting the jump on him, by getting games quickly, and by really being assertive and getting my confidence very strong. And he knows if he doesn't do that, Brett, averaging a 4.9 is going to roll over and make this match very quick. As Brandon Neal put it, a 9-4 or 9-5 loss for him if he doesn't play his A game and then some.
Well, I wanted to get some mentionables here, as we did say averages. We want to go ahead and mention something else, as we've got 24.9 marks for Brett Hollinday. 62.7 marks, 1 white horse, and 67.5 marks in 38 games. For Brandon Neal, it's 16.9 marks, and listen to this. This is the part we want to listen to. 84.7 marks and 92 5 marks. So a massive amount of 7 marks and 5 marks for Neal to counteract those big 9 marks from Brett Hollinday. But he's had 47 games overall. So 9 more games for Brandon. That could be a reason why as well. But I wanted to mention those. And of course, Omaha, Nebraska for Brandon, and Proctor, Minnesota for Brett Hollinday.
Of course, we're looking out of Stoley's Bar in the Nebraska Technical Services would be the operator for this one as well. The Fun Company, as the logo says.
Yeah, that's where we're looking at from Brandon Neal's perspective with that nice little, I think it's a Mammoth Apparel jersey, that nice little zebra print. I think that's what that is, that pink, black, white looking jersey. Fantastic.
Yeah,
and then it's just real quick, Legends Bar for Brett Hollinday is what we're seeing that little game screen view from, and it's Midwest Coin Concept.
I was just going to say, you're talking about his jersey color. Of course, in his interview, he had to talk about his decision of which jersey to wear. He was comparing himself to Tiger Woods dressing a particular color every Sunday. So very much appreciated from Brandon, the style, Mr. White Belt, as I referred to him.
I love it. I love it. We do apologize if you're having a little lag there issue or so, but we're working on it in the background. Hopefully all is going to be on the uptick here, but welcome everybody. We see all your comments. Appreciate that. Thanks for joining us here for the CSC Challenger Series. Nice 6 mark there from Brandon Neal.
We're going to go ahead and get a little refresh there. Make sure everything's coming in nice and clean on the feed. So just give us a quick moment here.
Yeah, nice 7 answer from Brett. And Brett really has been on a tear of late. Going into that Booyah Cup, he had some nice qualifiers underneath his belt. I think he finished second 4 or 5 times in those qualifiers. Just unfortunate, but he did earn his way through that order of merit. So just to kind of mention how well he's been playing.
I mean, both these guys have been playing pretty well. Brandon Neal, TOC, this most recent year, he averaged only a 3.5, and he was so mad with his performance. He said, I need to get together right now, and if I don't get together within the next couple months, I'm going to give up playing darts, because if I'm not getting better, then it feels like I'm getting worse. And that's exactly the approach he took, and has now been averaging a 4.6 and averaging better than ever since October. He literally locked himself in February. He put himself in the basement. He locked the door and he said, I'm not leaving until I get better at darts.
Well, he had to go all the way over to the side for that attempt, but just a 6 mark as he wasn't able to collect on that last dart. Still pretty handy, but unfortunately, Brett's going to have the out front lead here, and he hits a trip 16 just to slam that door shut on Brandon.
Not to say averages mean everything, but Brett Hollinday averaging a 4.94. The big difference maker there is going to be he would be winning in Division 1 right now. He would be in the top side, if not at the end of the loser side of the bracket with that average alone. It shows how much people know when to turn it on when they're playing these big events.
Oh, you have to. You have to step up your game here. When you're in the CSC Challenger Series, whether it's Division 1, Division 2, it doesn't matter. Everybody is tough. It's just a long format battle. Brett looking to go ahead and close these bulls out and win the first leg. It would be a nice, handy 4.5 in that range. How about a 4.6?
And that's some good stuff from him there. 3.5 for Brandon Neal. Not happy with it, but I mean, that was a leg where he started off really weak and still made it competitive. He was finding a way to fight in there, finding a way to stay in it, and then fell off a little bit again at the end. He just needs to get comfortable, get that first win under his belt, know it's possible, make the giant bleed, as they say.
There's a 5 mark opener for Neal. Soon to be in the hundreds on those 5 marks already early in this CSC Challenger Series.
I felt like it was just starting, and now we're already at the end of week 4. We're at the midpoint of the season. At this rate, the season is looking to be over around the first week of May, right before NDA. It's crazy how fast it flies by.
Yeah, it definitely is. And then we'll take a couple months off, and I think we'll be right back for another one, if I'm not mistaken. How about a 6 mark from Neal there? Back and forth we go. 5-5 and 6-0 here.
And that's a lot more the start Brandon Neal wanted and expected to do. He is very much a methodical player, plays slower, takes his time to get to the line, takes his time to throw his darts, uses his shot clock. But the other thing he does is stack very high on the points, and that's going to be a recurring theme for him tonight.
Definitely so. Well, just to let you know where these guys are, this is a winner's side top 4 match. So the winner of this one will either face Daryl Cortez or Jeremiah Berger. So should be a fantastic affair for our king seat, no matter what. Really looking forward to that. Just to let you know who's still kind of going on or playing possibly this evening, maybe not this evening, maybe this week. Larry Keith, Mario Serra, Billy Meyer, Chris Watson, John Bunnell, and Lavelle Sterling, as we get a 7 mark there. And then Taylor Hedman and Brian Bowling. So still left in this CSC is Jason Hawkinson, Franny, Alkea Senior. Had to mention that because Franny's in the chat. Chris Alexander, as well as Aaron Ham.
Some big names left. The Division 2 is my favorite bracket because all those people that you listed are all people that can win it all. When you look at Division 1, there's always some clear favorites, but Division 2, anybody really has a good shot for the running.
I really, really dislike that we've got Carly Griggs in here talking smack on me right now, saying I thought we got rid of him. Well, I could just put this old mic on mute, I guess. Let me just go ahead and do that.
Well, I actually did ask Carly the other day if she wants to commentate, and she says not enough people want her to commentate. So type in chat if you want Carly Griggs to be our next guest commentator.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Great idea, Nick. Let's get some We Want Carly in the chat, and we can make it happen. Get her on for at least 10 minutes. Neal trying to go to work here. Over to the 15s. Big close with the last dart, as he's got a 102-point lead going into the Bulls with a 5-7-1.
Carly saying I'm sick that day, and Eric Larson giving us a hashtag We Want Carly. I don't know. I'm getting conflicting things in the comments right now. And then I know the internet might be a little choppy for you guys tonight. I do apologize. Unfortunately, it's something in the Florida waters, probably some alligators chewing on some lines. But I assure you, we will try to get to the best of our abilities up and going.
That was the worst excuse I've ever heard in my life. Alligators chewing. Did you use that back in the day on your homework?
Oh, absolutely.
There was a gator that ate my homework.
Ain't nobody mess with gator.
That was funny this weekend. We'll be using that for Leonard Gates throughout the CSC, I guarantee you, as Leonard has been calling himself Gator from back in the day, baseball days. So we've been taking advantage of it and doing the same. Now we're getting a lot of We Want Carly's. We got to make it happen now.
It's for the fans, Miss Griggs. It's for the fans. I feel like I'm going to lose my job after putting her on the spot like that.
You very well might, bud.
Next week, it's Nick is fired instead of Sean or Will.
Big round there from Brandon. He went ahead and closed those 20s, just sitting on 19 points. Now up to Brett to go ahead and open up the 18s and or 17s. Does it with the first dart.
Very aggressive. Goes right to those 19s.
Woo!
Able to swing and hit it out of the park.
Man, what a start to this Division 2 matchup. You're on a Wednesday night. Loving it.
Our Division 2 feels a lot like our first season's Division 1 nowadays. It's incredible how much the talent pool of dart players has been increasing lately.
And there's our first 9 of the evening, and it's a white horse from Brett Hollinday.
Giddy up on that.
How much horsepower does he got? He's got 9. There's a hat trick from Neal, but is it too little too late? Let's find out. Need one to open up. He goes ahead and hits that triple 18 for points. And a big double bull with the last. Love it.
Some great stuff out of Brett Hollinday and what he's been doing all season. I mean, these guys are both on the winner's side, yet Brett has played 9 less games. That means that he is won basically an extra match's worth in that sense.
Currently throwing a 6.25. Need one bull, and there it is. How about a 5.57 from Brett? My goodness. That's the kind of stuff that, unfortunately, Brandon's going to have to hold on for. He's got the better averages tonight. I'm talking about Brett Hollinday does. So he's going to have those firework legs, and unless Brandon is able to have some fireworks himself, he's just going to have to hold on for those and take advantage of the legs he starts on.
Couldn't agree more with that. It's going to be one of those hold on tight, and when the wave is crashing against you, I mean, you better hope the boat doesn't tip over, because Brett Hollinday is a wave, to say the least.
Well, folks, a little reminder, of course, A to Z Darts is giving away a $15 gift certificate to their website. It can be used on any product seen on their website and combined with any special. Use it towards a $45 purchase to qualify for free shipping in the continental U.S. As you start rattling off something, you're guaranteed to get a 9 mark, and Brandon Neal gets his first. Great stuff there. So, yeah, give us a like, give us a comment. You'll be entered into that giveaway this evening. No need to share, but, hey, you might as well.
A little share can hurt, you know. Also, A to Z Darts has chosen to feature the Target Yoko non-player darts range this month. All Yoko steel tip barrels have been marked down to $42. A set for the rest of March. Excuse me. Oh my goodness. Click the banner on their homepage to browse all options. You can also browse the recent shot dart launch featuring the Tribal Weapon Savage range and the new Pro Player series, including the notorious BDG, Barbara, and Rowby John Rodriguez. Just click the banner on their homepage over at a-zdarts.com.
Good stuff. As you didn't rattle off the hip hopadostra.
Yeah, I was not
going
gonna
to do that one, bud.
Not gonna take a blind rip at that one.
I know I'm wrong on that one anyway, so whoop-de-doo. We tried.
We got the English teacher to help us, right?
Yeah, correct. But no, fantastic stuff. $42 for a steel tip set's pretty crazy, and especially like a black looking dart like that. Oof, remarkable.
Well, there's just some great stuff. Yeah, there's some amazing. You can find any product you really want on there. I know I've indulged a little too much of my own paychecks back into the company, so I understand.
Well, there's a 6 mark from Brett as he's putting pressure back on Brandon. I mean, 5'2", 5'6" here in this leg. Appetizing, man. Let's see what Brandon can do here. Yeah, needs one of those. Does he take a shot at these 15s? Gets the single, but this could very well turn tide here. Brett can take advantage and steal this leg away.
And
he's been hitting the 18s.
Doesn't find it that time, though. But I think Brandon had to take that risk at it. He's lucky, though, that he'll get another attempt here. It's all about finding that trip 18, though.
Well, up to Brandon to go ahead and hit a big 18 here. Let's see if he can do it. He needs more than a big 18. He needs the trip 18, and he doesn't do it. That's the reason why I'm keen to stay on those 18s and point, and then close with my last dart there.
I understand the logic. 4-3 in the bull race, you know, you have confidence that you can hit 4 if they can hit 3. I get it. But Eric Larson says, you know, Mike Maloney would have shot the double there. I think a double is a perfectly valid option there too. He was blocked on that trip. He had no real chance to hit it without moving very far to the side.
Well, can Neal hit a big bull here? Yes, he can. Massive leg for him. He did not want to lose that one and find himself in a hole. It's a 4.38 compared to a 4.86 from Brett. Massive, massive leg. And you can see Brandon's got to take a second there to kind of shake it off. Look at him.
He's such an emotive player. He always wears his heart on his sleeve and will let his emotions be known. And you have to make sure that adrenaline doesn't hurt your own game. But of course, it doesn't bother Brett at all, as he just goes right in there with, let's give Sean one. Boom goes the dynamite.
Just one. Just one.
That's it.
All
No
we're
more.
giving him this evening.
No more.
Big trip 17, but is it going to be enough? It was a start of that was a white horse start from Brett. I just can't get past those.
It's one of those things where if you look at the stats on them, you're like, white horse start does not make sense, but it's such a big confidence position that a lot of times players just don't snap back and answer it properly. And that was one of the cases. A 4 mark there doesn't do much, and he's going against a lot of pressure from Brett Hollinday.
And he's not happy with himself here. He's going to have to kind of scoot on over on the line and not find anything of value. Unfortunate for him. So Brett looking to once again grab another leg here.
Now, Brandon Neal, although this leg looks to be in a little bit of despair, he's doing exactly what he needs to do for this match. He's not letting Brett get a big stomping lead where Brandon will have to rattle off 3, 4, 5 in a row. So really, this leg might be shaky, but the rest so far have been going the direction he's wanted it to go.
Single, triple 19 there for Brett. 108 to 47. Brandon could put a massive 9 in here. Would be handy, but not going to happen as it's only a trip 15.
Yeah, 3-2-5 unfortunately will not cut it, but I mean, it doesn't help that Brett's just playing so dominant this leg. There hasn't really been a whiff of a doubt. That was Brandon Neal's only real opportunity other than his first rounds to make a significant lead change possible. Let me ask you this, Will. You are a pretty well-accomplished player as far as like your ability. If you're going against somebody that has a significantly higher average than you, and you're playing a match, like how do you stay focused? How do you stay motivated knowing that you're coming in at a deficit?
Well, that's a good question. I mean, it's one thing that you just got to kind of mentally prepare yourself for, that he's probably going to come in here and hit some big numbers, but you want to gain that throw right off the bat. That's a big thing that Brandon Neal did grab. But you also want to establish, your first couple legs and let him know, like, hey, you may be up there, but I can hang and bang as well. And as soon as you do that and you don't find yourself a couple legs down, it's a new ball game. I mean, it's 2-2 here. It depends on who has the upper hand into that break. Because if Brandon Neal finds himself a leg down, he could find himself questioning that MPR. If he finds himself a leg ahead, he's not going to give a damn. Let's be honest. I'll say that.
Well said. Can't even argue.
Yeah,
at that
why
point.
not? Why not? But yeah, that's how I feel about it. So we'll see how he kind of plays going into that break. Right now, the upper hand is slightly into Brett's favor. He's had the higher MPRs, yes. But Brandon has been holding in there on those legs that he starts. That last leg was the only questionable one where it could have went towards Brett. Thank goodness he got the leg, or else he would be questioning himself right now.
Look what he's questioning right now. This leg that we were just talking about is going clearly in Brett's favor. Well, we just saw a big round of bulls from Brandon, and then now an opportunity rising. He decided to expand his point lead there, and he was debating, do I close one of the 4 numbers to have a chance at an outshot, or do I try to expand the points more and force them down over time? And it kind of keeps his leg a little tighter than Brett would prefer.
Brett's just one bull away, but if Brandon can put in 4 or 5 here, it would be really nice. Granted, he's got some houses against him, which is the tough thing. So he's got to have a little bit of a helpful hand from Brett. But in the double here, no, just 3 singles. You can tell he feels like that wasn't enough.
Well, if I'm Brett, I'm taking my first start, popping the bull, and then using my other 2 to points, just because I already got those 2 marks on the bulls. He can't win in 3 darts. He needs a 4th dart, and his friend's not allowed to hand him one.
Yep, so Brett's got the upper hand here as Brandon doesn't have enough darts in his hand to do anything of value, really. Well, he can produce something of value, but not enough to win the leg. And honestly, he would have, well, a good double there to go ahead and close out the 16s, leaving him a 6 mark potential if Brett isn't able to hit something here, but this is kind of in Brett's hands. 1, 2, 3. Yep. It's a 3-9, but it's a win for Brett.
And that was the game he started off with the white horse in.
Yeah. Maybe was a tougher leg for Brett than he wanted it to be, but quite all right. Brandon's going to get the throw here. Just has to hold throw, and you can go into the last leg before our break. 3-3 tie. You'll feel good about that.
I mean, you'd have to, right? When you know you're playing against someone that is a challenge, that is not just an equivocal average, but looks like we might have a slight camera issue. Hold on one second. I'm going to put a pin in that thought.
Yeah, go ahead. I'll take over here. When you're playing somebody with a bigger average, it can be definitely a mind thing. We keep going over it, but we'll see if we can get a little refresh here so we can see what's going on. Single 20 from Neal. Big trip 20. Big trip 19 with the last. A massive 7 mark from Neal. As Hollinday will step to the line now, having the 18s up for grabs. He's been hitting a good amount, but isn't able to find it here. Just 2. That's difficult. I'll help you all out with a little bit more of a value here. Single 4 for our opener. For those that aren't able to read our screen here. Big trip 18, though, for Brandon as he goes ahead and slams the door on those 18s. As Nick is panicking in the background, I can see the sweat rolling off his brow now. There we go. Back up. Better than ever. There we go, Nick. Trip 16s, trying to close out the 17s. Only 2 singles. 5 mark from Neal. As he's got the subtle advantage here. Could potentially make this 3-3. Triple to start. Triple 20 is what I'm looking at here. Just underneath, but can stay there. Oh, going to the 17s. Does hit the trip 20 with the last. A saving grace there. Because if he would have just hit the single, Brett would have been 1 ahead, and he could have easily chose what he wanted to do there. I think he would have eyed the trip 15s, of course. Maybe got some playing room to work with. That's exactly what he does here.
Well, I look away for a few seconds trying to fix some technical difficulties. I look back and seeing a very interesting leg go on.
Yeah, very interesting. 4-8-3 and a 4-2-0 right now. So back and forth little battle. Brett fighting for it. He wants to win this leg and guarantee a head up into the break.
We're going to see how that plays out here. Of Of course, when we do hit our break, don't go far. You're going to hear from both these players, talk about their insights on tonight's match, their previous experience at the CSC, among other things. And then it'll be right back to the action here with no more technical difficulties. I'm knocking on wood as I say that.
Well, Eric, per usual, wants to know how we qualify. I like it simple. I like it short, sweet. Head on over to dartstoc.com and find out how. There you go.
I was just going to say, Eric Larson, do you want to know how to qualify? Message Sean Green.
That too. No, it's very easy. Head on over to Darts TOC. See if you've got anything or any boards in your area in the PPD program. You can easily access the league programs through there and get involved in this fantastic system. Big last dart there, 380 to 321.
That's exactly what he wanted from that third dart. He doesn't want to give an outshot to Brett Hollinday. I wouldn't want to gamble against him, and he knows that. Now, Brandon, only needing 2 bulls, needs to go right for it, get it out of the way, and go into our last leg before the break.
There's 1. And there's 2. It's a 4-6-2 there for Brandon Neal. And a 4-3-8 for Brett.
Brandon Neal's doing exactly what he said he was going to do. Capitalize when the opportunity is given. He's not throwing the most amazing averages we've ever seen. He's throwing really well, and he's throwing at the right time.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's not far-fetched to think Brandon can take this leg. He's just got to find the right momentum, find the right couple rounds and piece them together, and he can take off here. Great opener from Brett, but a 9 would be nice here from Neal. Well, that's a 5 mark. Still handy.
Nothing wrong with it, but Brett has that 18, and exactly as I was going to say it, capitalizes on his extra hill. That is one thing we've noticed about Brett Hollinday's play style. Even last time when he played Mike Carter in Division 1 in Season 2, that was the last time we've seen Brett Hollinday on the stream. And he likes to have multiple numbers up, keep that point differential noticeable, but pretty close in points. Vice versa, you see Brandon Neal likes to have 1 or 2 numbers, but goes really tall in points. Kind of 2 different approaches to the same game.
Yeah, and I hated that strategy there from Brandon. I think he should have stayed all in the 19s and really pounded those numbers. If he would have hit a 7 mark on those 19s, it would have forced Brett to do something here, and then he could have had the upper hand. Now his back's up against the wall, and it could be 4-3 Brett. I'm going to be honest there. I didn't like that at all.
He's kind
does go ahead and hit a 5, but it's only 10 marks ahead, and Neal and Hollinday's got the 20s and 18s.
Yeah, I have to agree with you wholeheartedly. Neal's kind of getting punished for that decision making right now because Brett can afford to take a risky close on that third dart because he has the second number up. He has that difference. You can't afford to take that risk unless you have the extra real estate.
Neal steps back. He's going to have to work his way around this dart. He's had a couple of these tonight where he's just had to find a different route on the Aki. And he's not satisfied with that one. Just a single mark, it looks like. Yes. Mm-hmm. Brett with a 5-5. Going to close out these 16s here. Close out the 15s.
With style. Of course, Brandon Neal, we used to watch him, other than Nationals where we've seen him at Stoley's, we actually used to see him at Sundowner, if I'm not mistaken. And so this is kind of a change of scenery for those that missed out on Nationals for where Brandon Neal's playing out of. But that being the case, we've seen him have to move all around the dartboard area for this. Looks like We're about one round away from heading to our break here. Like we said, it's going to be a quick one. It's going to be some great times with these players. It's really cool to get a chance to chat with them and hear their insights, and I hope you guys enjoy that, as well as Brett Hollinday just needs a bowl and a little bit of points to go up 4-3.
Yeah, 4-7-1 there from Brett, as he will head into the break 4-3 ahead in this match over Brandon Neal. Honestly, a back and forth battle here. Really interesting darts going on here. I think Brett's got the better MPR, no doubt. He's holding, he's consistent, where Brandon's dipping and diving a little bit, but still holding in strong. Who's going to win this match? We'll find out after our break, and a quick word from our players. William Stuart here, alongside me, Mr. Nick Dichiria. We'll be right back with more action next.
My name is Brett Hollinday. I play out of Legends Bar in Proctor, Minnesota, and Midwest Coin Concept is our vendor.
Well, Brett Hollinday, welcome back to the CSC Challenger Series. It has been a little while since you and I have had a chat, all the way back to Season 2 when you played against Mike Carter back then. For those who are going to be watching you for the first time, can you tell us a little bit about how you got into darts and what got you into the sport?
My brother started playing back in 1990. I joined a league with him, played with him for about 10 years, and I quit for 15, 17 years. Now I'm back playing again.
Well, you're definitely playing. If we look at your averages right now, you're averaging just around a 4.9, and you are dominant in Division 2 this season. What do you think the case for that is?
Practicing, playing a lot more now.
And then in the past season, like I mentioned, when you played against Mike Carter, that was in Division 1 in the past. What do you feel like you learned in your previous CSC experiences compared to playing in it again now?
Just that there's so many good players. You have to play hard every time you play.
Well, and tonight you're playing a great player. You're playing Brandon Neal, who's averaging right now about a 4.7 himself. What's going to be your game plan as far as the match this evening?
Just start out strong and keep it going the rest of the way.
And then, is there anything you want to say to your friends, fans, family, anybody else watching along?
Special shout out to two friends of mine, my wife and her friend, Kristen O'Hara, for coaching me all the time.
Let's say you go ahead and cash it in and you win Division 2. What would you do with that prize money?
Probably just go to another dart tournament,
Fair enough. Well, Brett Hollinday, we wish you nothing but the best of luck in tonight's match against Brandon Neal on the CSC Challenger Series Division 2. And besides that, best of luck.
All right, thank you.
Of course. And then can you just say, I'm Brett Hollinday and you're watching the CSC Challenger Series?
What was that?
Can you say, I'm Brett Hollinday and you're watching the CSC Challenger Series?
Oh, I'm Brett Hollinday. You're watching the CSC Challenger Series.
There are 5 total options in the Yoko darts range, 3 seal tip labeled 01 through 03, and 2 soft tip labeled 10 and 11, with multiple barrel weights for each option. The common themes that they all share are black PVD performance coating, and they're all hand sandblasted to create texture for a subtle grip. They also feature contemporary and varied radial grooves. Let's start each option. The common themes they all share are full CNC machining throughout the entire barrel, offering insanely intricate grip design from front to rear. The grooves are all sandblasted, then painted a matte gray to contrast the shiny metallic silver exterior. And all steel tip barrels come fitted with nano Swiss points. And I want to emphasize how interesting it is that the Nastri barrels all have intricate cuts throughout the entirety of the barrel. No start and stop sections, no smooth sections, just pure beauty and madness. It's a truly elegant and sophisticated looking ring.
I'm Brandon Neal. I'm playing out of Stoley's Lounge in Omaha, Nebraska. And my operator is Nebraska Technical Services.
Well, Omaha, Brandon and Neal, bathroom selfie, white belt, and many other things. Welcome back to the CSC Challenger Series. It's been a long time, my friend. For a lot of the people, they're going to be watching you for the first time on our stream here. Can you give us a background of how long you've been playing darts and what got you into it?
Yeah, I mean, I think I just need to soak in that intro a little bit. That was amazing. I had to take you on the road with me. I got started into darts. I've been playing about 15 years. I started in around 2005-ish, so it's about almost 20 years ago, but I took a break in there when my kids were little. So I've been playing cumulatively about 15 years. I started playing, I've heard a few people with this similar story. I think Sean was the same way. Was in the bar for a free poker league night, and a guy I knew was playing dart league, and he had the suitcase of darts and all that. I thought it was so interesting and unique, and ended up playing after the poker tournament was over and dart league was over. We played a little bit, and I got smoked, and I could not stand it. So I ended up buying a dart board and set of darts a day or two later, and here we are.
Well, tonight you're going to be facing a pretty tough opponent in Brett Hollinday, who is no stranger to the CSC. What's going to be your game plan for tonight's match?
Well, I mean, let's just be honest. He has the highest average in our division. He has been just decimating. It seems like everybody he's played. I haven't seen it, but I've seen the stats, and I've seen that we've both played 3 matches, and he's played 10 less games than I have. So he's getting his over with quick. So I have to raise my game. I have to play better tonight than I've played the previous 3 weeks. I can't depend on him coming down to my level. I have to go and get it. I am still working on how to do that, but I'm a gamer. I really feel like that I step up in big moments, and this is going to be one of those big moments. If I play the way tonight that I've played the previous 3 nights, I lose. I probably lose 9-5, maybe even 9-4. So I have to figure out a way to play better.
Let's also be realistic about your ability to win it all. We know that you definitely have it, and let's say you do. What would you use that prize money for?
So I just got back from the beach last night. And I fell in love with it. I haven't been in forever. It was my kids' first time on an airplane. It was their first time seeing the ocean. They fell in love with it. They did great on the plane. $2,500 would go a long way toward another family trip. So I'm actually using that as my motivation to get it done, so that we can get out of here when it's a little warmer, and we can have some, a few days in the sun. In the Florida Gulf, maybe I can come down and so yeah, that is my motivation. We are planning that. So in order to finance it, I probably need to put my foot on the gas in this tournament and go ahead and get the W.
And then what do you want to say to your friends, fans, family, anybody that's going to be watching along?
Yeah, I've actually been overwhelmed with, I don't want to say support, but just, because that makes me sound all official and everything, but just people reaching out. A few of you, in particular, have been reaching out every week. Thank you so much. I can use all of the good vibes. Appreciate all the friends reaching out. Obviously, the family at home, I haven't had the chance to mention them lately. So Avery, Mallory, and obviously my wife, Stephanie, going to be holding it down at home while I play. So shout out to them. And then Mammoth Custom Apparel, I'm gonna be rocking one of my custom jerseys tonight. I think I'll go with pink. You know how Tiger has red on Sunday? I think I'll rock the pink for a big event. See how it goes.
Well, we're excited to see how it goes as well, because Brandon Neal is back to the CSC, going up against Brett Hollinday tonight in the CSC Challenger Series Division 2 matchup. We wish you nothing but the best of luck.
I'm Brandon Neal, and you're watching the CSC Challenger Series.
Welcome back, everyone, once again, as we are here for Brandon Neal versus Brett Hollinday. Currently, Brett has the advantage, the upper hand, as it's 4-3. Who will come out victorious in this bad boy? We will have to find out. How about those interviews? Nice to hear from those guys for just a moment there.
It is. It's always a pleasure. It's probably one of my favorite parts of this job, getting a chance to actually talk to the players, getting a chance to get to know them all pretty well, develop these friendships with these guys. It's surreal because you kind of get a secret look into the mindset of what it takes to be these higher level players, and they have some great insight. I mean, you heard Brandon talking about what he has to do for the match, breaking down his exact strategy, and you saw Brett over there saying, hey, listen, this is how I got into the sport, this is what I need to do, plain and simple. I have one game plan, one speed, it's go go go.
There we go. I'm enjoying this match so far. It's a back and forth battle. Let's see if Brandon can come out on top in this leg, make this 4-4, or we find a little distance between ourselves as Brett possibly could take the upper hand. We'll find out.
It's going to pan out one way or the other right now. I think Brett is coming off this break feeling really good as he's just is pounding those 19s like it did something to him.
I'm just doing some little statistics in the background, as I totally forgot to do that when we headed to our break. So bear with me real quick as I give you some averages. So currently right now, Brett's at a 4.68 average, and Brandon Neal only averaging a 4.0. So Brandon definitely has to pick it up a little bit here. He's not far off. It's just been those legs that he hasn't had to start. That's been the difference. There's been a couple legs here where, like our opener leg, Brett averaged a 4.60. Brandon only averaged a 3.5. And then he had a 3.3 in there as well. And then really the kicker was that third leg where Brett averaged a 5.57 and he only averaged a 3.75. But on those winning legs, I mean, it's been a 5.16, a 4.38, and a 4.62. So those winning legs have been great.
The hard part's consistency in the sport of darts. Brett has been consistent this whole night. Although when you look at the stat sheet, he is averaging a little less than his normal self. You have to wonder, there's always a multitude of factors, but one of the bigger factors is people play different when they're on the stream. When we saw Brett Hollinday for the first time on the stream going up against Mike Carter, it was a pretty big win differential. I believe it was a 9-4 type situation where Mike Carter came out on top. But again, Brett Hollinday didn't play bad there either, just a little bit below his standard. And right now he's just trying to find it. If he's able to throw that 4.94, it's going to go very swiftly in the other direction. Vice versa, Brandon Neal just needs to step it up and do what he's capable of every single leg, not every other leg.
Wow. How about this? We're 5.0, 5.60, and we're just getting out of the 20s and 19s here, and we're almost hitting that 500 mark, so good stuff.
Josh Hill asking, will the King Seat match be played next week or will they wait a week? We're going to try to make sure we can schedule with them. The PPD does decide all those matches for us. I do know for a fact that our Division 1 King Seat is not going to get played until, I believe, April 10th. If I'm not mistaken there, as I know Leonard Gates is going to be over in England.
There we go. So thanks for the mentionables there. How about that? A massive 9 mark from Brett Hollinday as he takes the reins here from Brandon. We could be looking at a 5-3 scoreline. Unless
Brandon
he
can snap right back.
Yes, unless he could do something here and he hits a 9 for himself. Back-to-back 9s. Love it.
That was exactly what Brandon Neal needed to do. Snap right back. And it's not over yet, though. He is not out of the woodwork.
Almost a 7 from Brett. Oh, my. Well, how about this? We got a couple people in the chat. Connor Olson, how's it going, buddy? Hope you're doing well. Katie asking, where can you find the bracket? You can find it on CompuSport. You can find both their Division 1 and Division 2. Look up PPD. And it's easy to find there as you'll get a link here in the chat. Love that. Yeah, I mean, we've got some entertaining stuff going on here in our CSC Challenger Series. And this is an entertaining match here. 6.11, 5.33. Both these guys throwing haymakers in our 8th leg.
Haymakers puts it lightly, in my opinion. Brandon does need to hit a 6 mark if he wants to have a look with the point advantage at the 16s. So it's going to be a little bit digging for him over there.
I think he's got to stay here. Yep, got to stay for the triple. He does hit one. 21 points ahead is Neal.
Brett's doing exactly what he needs to do, getting that point advantage, and now getting an opportunity to do exactly what he set out to do. He's playing very dominant right now.
Well, it was a 9 count overall, but it only counts as an 8. Still a massive round for Brett as he is gunning to take this leg away from Brandon. And it's not like Brandon's playing bad. It's just Brett's stepped up the par to a 6+, and that is tough to beat.
The difference is, though, Brandon Neal is one of those players that when he has a leg like this where he gets beat playing great, it motivates him rather than deflates him, and that's exactly what he's going to have to do now. Stay motivated and keep pushing forward, because Brett Hollinday right now, with that average, could be just about anybody.
My word. 6.27, and normally a 5.09 would be great in this division too. It would probably win you probably 60 to 70% of your legs, no doubt. But man, oh man, not this go around. Brett Hollinday steals it away. 5-3 lead for him.
Brandon kind of coming out of the gate right at the 20s, needs to find another one of those, and does so, kind of saying, hey, listen, that happened. It's over. Let's move on.
Yeah, really elaborating that follow through as Neal, really making sure he's following through all the way. But right now, Brett Hollinday is a man on a mission. Another 9 mark, 5 for the evening in this match.
And also those 2 8 marks from the last night from Brett.
Yeah,
well.
those should count as well. How about another? A 9 mark answer from Neal, back to back once again. Is this Monday night or is this Wednesday night? What's going on here? It's kind of a new match here in this one.
Yeah, first one was more of a scrappy back and forth between 2 players in the same range. Now we're having 2 greats really just going for big swings left and right. You're exactly right. It feels like it's almost a different match in the second half here. That break has done wonders for both these guys, honestly.
Well, just a reminder, folks, A to Z Darts is giving away a $15 gift certificate to their website. It can be used on any product seen on the website and combined with any special. Use it toward a $45 purchase to qualify for free shipping in the continental U.S. That's right. Free shipping. Who doesn't like that? Use it towards a dartboard and you get it shipped for free. And those things are heavy, man. They can cost a ton. Good 6 mark there from Brett as he opens his, he closes out those 20s away from Brandon Neal.
Brandon needs to just get some room of his own, start getting that point lead back. Does find a great third dart there, but not the momentum shifter he needs when his opponent's throwing in the 7s.
I would agree. And he's hopping up there. He's trying to gain some energy, get something going his way. You see that, buddy? He's just kind of hopping and hollering, but it's working his disadvantages. It's working for Brett. Massive 7 for him.
These last 2 legs, he's been unbelievable. And Brandon Neal still has been in the 5s. He has been a very lethal shot on the dartboard himself. You can't get discouraged, but gosh, I don't know if I could be throwing as well as him, given that I would be going against a literal monster on the board.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like Brandon's throwing bad now. It's just Brett stepped up his game, and it's really working for him here. How about another 7 it is. Abby Livingston saying, I love that B has a button pusher so that he doesn't hurt his dart hand. Laugh out loud. We've had quite a few in this CSC Challenger Series. It's become our new thing. I kind of enjoy it every once in a while. A helpful hand. Why not?
He's more so worried about hurting his bathroom selfie hand, if anything.
Oh my. Well, reminder, this is all brought to you by Partners Promoting Darts. Without them, we wouldn't have the CSC Challenger Series, so we want to thank them, as always, for providing this for us to stream. We, of course, want to thank you for watching, whether it be on the PPD site or USA Darts. Glad to have you along for the ride. Like and follow for more great content. How about this from Neal? Come on, nine mark this. He's kind of bummed out. It's just a 6.
Just a 6, just averaging a 5.0. Like I couldn't even imagine. I'm not a bad player in my own right. I'm a 4.0 player myself, but to play at this level is something I have never obtained for long form like these guys do.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. If you go back in time and look at our first CSC Challenger Series, and then you look at this one now, we have just gotten used to people stepping up their game. And these are no longer matches where we're not used to the 4-5, the 5+. We're used to it now. It's kind of common. How about a big double here needed? He's not going to find it. So Brandon Neal potentially could win this leg and steal it away. What does he need here?
4
4
bulls.
bulls? Yep. Let's see if he can do it here.
A lot of work to do now.
Yes, and he's not going to do it. But up to Brett to hit 2 here, and it can be difficult.
Still some pressure on it.
Yeah, he didn't hit any last go around. Let's see if he can hit one here. And there's the 2. And I think he did hit one last time. I shouldn't speak that, but 5.19 there for Brett and a 4.67 for Brandon.
And just to go back to what you were saying there, I absolutely agree. The talent pool and the players and everything else has just been increasing every season of the CSC from our first show round. And also, I mean, just in tournaments in general, you're seeing more and more big names, more and more 5-0s, more and more top shots. And we saw that clearly this weekend at Booyah, and we'll see it clearly this weekend at PBD Nationals.
Laura saying, "Buy me a beer. I'll be your pusher."
Also,
hey, I think that might be the deal.
It's a good deal. You do see his button pusher. We got a comment in chat from Buddy Love saying his button pusher is Scott Dunaway. I believe he's playing or was playing in level 1 this season. Scott Dunaway also we saw at the TOC finale as well have a good run.
Yeah, he what was it? First, it was second place for him.
With Daryl Cortez, yeah.
Yes, that's right. Second place. It was him and Daryl. Taking home a nice chunk of change there. So, yeah, can't complain at all, right?
No, I wouldn't. You see Brandon kind of just like sighing over the set edge, not even looking at the board, just trying to relax, trying to get regrouped because he knows right now he needs to make a stand because this is going to slip away very fast if he doesn't make some big changes in the match.
Currently down 6-3. Sorry, currently down 6-3. He didn't want to be in this position at the beginning of this match, so he's going to have to fight and claw to get back, and we'll see if he can do it. Brett currently 3 legs away from the win. Potentially.
Well, Brandon needs to make sure to shorten these legs out right now, knowing he's going against such a high average monster. He needs to, as soon as he gets that point lead, go for some aggressive closes when he gets the opportunity. Although right there, that 7 mark of the 19s was very pretty. Let me ask you this, Will. He trips that first 19. Does he go for both closes?
Brandon will. Yeah, he'll try to close it. He's playing aggressive tonight. Yep, he did do that. He tried to go for the close with the second dart. I'd be keen to chop down to try to take a couple chops at it. So I'd be keen to stay at the 19s for 2 and then try to take out 1. It's just tough. It's just tough, man. I mean, it's a tough decision to make. But the way Brett's playing, it's just too easy for him to hit 2 big triples and then all of a sudden your back's back up against the wall. Josh Hill saying, y'all will be streaming level 1 nationals this weekend, right? Actually, we'll be streaming nationals in general. We'll be hopping around, taking a peek, whether it be Division 1, Division 45, whatever our lowest division is. I mean, there's so many of them these days. Yeah, we'll be hopping around on all our streaming boards this weekend. I think Friday and Saturday, correct, Nick?
Yep. So Fridays is going to be singles, and then Saturday, of course, the best, the most famous day, the doubles with the massive bonus pool, which they're going to finalize that total for us soon. And then we will take Sunday off, as it is the triples. That's usually the Sunday fun day for a lot of those players. But you can agree with me on this. One of our most common requests: are you going to do Division 3, Division 4, Division 5 of the CSC? We get asked questions like that all the time. Well, Nationals is kind of our chance to kind of show the spotlight on the other players in the program, because while these guys do some cool stuff in these high divisions, it's the players in Division 12, Division 20. Those are a majority of our participants in the PPD program. We want to make sure everyone gets a little bit of time in the sun, per se.
Yeah, I think so. And honestly, I mean, down the road, who knows? Maybe we start picking up triples and just doing some music behind it and just have the stream going. That would always be fun too, or maybe some other things. How about another Trip 19? No, just a single 7 mark there from Neal. But yeah, I mean, we have more and more content that we can create here and provide the proper outlet for our players to get showcased. So looking forward to doing that within the next year, even 5 years down the road for the PPD. It's a long road ahead, let me tell you what. And we're excited for it.
We're just excited to be invited to kind of go on this journey, as it was only just over a year and a half ago before this kind of opportunity popped up with the PPD, and I was calling Will Stuart, a guy I never even knew, while on my way home from my day job at a jewelry store. And now here we are talking about darts and having fun.
Yeah, looking forward to a possible return to TOC this year, as I'm excited for that one. I know you all are as well. Make sure you get your games in, get qualified for that bad boy. How about a 5-1-3 and a 4-3-8 here? Neal's got to pop one off here if he hopes to gain this leg and make this a 6-4 matchup. What do you think?
Yeah, he needs a 4 mark to have a point advantage. So that's the bare minimum. Really, he needs to stay there all 3. You can't take the risk with the X already on it.
Yeah, hit another one. I just don't like he's being a little too aggressive tonight. He needs to put the pressure on him with points and see if he can hit.
Exactly. And Brett Hollinday there only need a first star triple. He's going to get a single at the 16 here. It was guaranteed to happen. He got lucky that was a second dart was a trip 4. But Brandon there, if he stays down at that 16, means that he doesn't get as easy of a chance to just go and close that number that he was pointing on. And now he needs to hope for a heck of a 7 mark right now.
Well, you got to think in the end. I mean, yes, you could pop that big number, but I mean, the percentages are against you, and if Brett hits 3, he's right back in the lead. Even just 3 singles, he's right back in the lead. So
the common adage of where does your single matter more? A single 18 wouldn't have progressed anything. A single 16 means that triple 18 miss would not give Brett Hollinday the point lead. And
just to chime in here, Brandon's mindset could be going into this as, I'm going to have to take the shots that I need to because he's got the better NPR. Maybe that's his thought, very well could be it. He's not out of this leg. It's definitely going to be tough, but he's not out of this leg.
Not out of this leg, not out of this match. But there's certain times where you come in with a game plan. There's certain times where you're going to have to deviate given on what your opponent's doing, what the situation's currently like. You have to be adaptable as a dart player. And right now, I think Brandon is doing great, but right now he's 4 legs down. His opponent's 2 legs away from the match. It's a big ask to come out on top from this point.
Yeah, it is. And I was hoping maybe Brett would put one outside and my thought would come true. Like, he's not out of his leg. It was, well, the fact is that Brett's playing too well to miss 3 fat bulls right now. He gets another one on the board, 7-3 here.
4 on the spin for Brett Hollinday. You see Brandon still having some fun with it. He's motivated. He's jumping around. He's still talking with everybody. He's a character when he's at the dartboard.
Yeah, I mean, it just takes 1 or 2 legs to turn this around for him. I hope I'm not beating him up too much tonight. That's not my intentions. It's just he knows this is a tough match for him tonight, and he's got to produce, and he hasn't quite done it yet.
Oh, well, and here's the thing. We're friends with Brandon Neal. We've had him in the booth with us before even. He's one of our buddies here. And so he's one of those players that likes to psychoanalyze himself in his game, and he doesn't want to sugarcoat it. He wants to get better. I literally talked to him, and this was like before our interview started recording. And he said to me, if I'm not moving towards getting better, it feels like I shouldn't even be playing. And that doesn't mean I have to be always increasing average, but it means I always have to be going in that direction. And so when things aren't going his way and there's a learning opportunity, he's happy to hear about it. He's one of those players that takes constructive criticism extremely well.
Well, how about another 7 mark from Brett on the 19s here?
William Bulmer giving you some smoke in the chat there.
Classic Bulmer. Classic Bomber. He's actually a pretty decent shot. We saw that this weekend. But, Will, if you want your butt kicked, just let me know, bud. I'm just kidding.
I will say, with Ryan Mooneyham now commentating on a CSC match, we've had Brandon Neal commentate on CSC matches, you, me, and Sean. We're getting pretty close to a little CSC commentator tournament going on here.
Watch out. If we ever get a 4-man team event at TOC, the commentators might come out of the woodworks. Watch it.
Please let us go for that one.
How about a big round there from Neal as he's able to capitalize on taking out those 19s. We're tied at a 5-mark average here.
You know what's crazy, though? Brandon Neal, after the break, has played way better than he played going into it, and yet the match score is not reflecting that at all.
Oh, he's played tremendously in this back half. It was a 5.09, a 4.67, and a 4.18. But the only differential is that Brett stepped his game up, and it's been a 6.27, a 5.19, and a 4.88 for him. It's just, what do you do?
Not much. Not much. Josh Hill saying Carly coming up soon. That's true. Now there's 6 people. We got a little tournament going.
Well, Dan's like, hey, push that a little harder. Well, I'm trying, guys. I would love to make that happen. How about a statewide 2-team contest? 3 men, 1 woman. Man, that would be just crazy talk.
You're talking about an idea that's already existed in the PPD in the past. That was the bar fights we used to have. It was 4-man teams. I don't know if there was a gender requirement on that one, but it was call outs, bar versus bar matchups where each side would put up half the prize pool and they would play for winner takes all.
I love it. Honestly, we're throwing some ideas around. As you can see, they did add a new event to this year's TOC, so I'm excited for that one. Mixed doubles. Should be a great event, huh?
Oh, yeah. People that see that event will remember it very much as the MIDI. They used to have the MIDI event a couple years ago. So when you see that, that's very much where that inspiring was from. But we want to also do like a MIDI finale combination there. It's high-low and fantastic talent on both sides. There's going to be some crazy teams in there.
Neal's going to have to hit some 17s here. I think it would be 6 minimum before you'd think about moving. He does collect the 6, but it's unfortunately the trip 2 got him there. So see what Brett does. Big triple at the end there. If he would have just came up with 3 singles, it would have been a door opener for Brandon.
And Brandon needs a door opened right now. I mean, he's playing so well. I can't understate this enough, but Brett Hollinday has just been in another gear and kind of shows why he would be a force to be reckoned with in Division 1 this season. And he kind of just found his stride, found his form, and is playing great. If you're averaging comparable to the top 5 in Division 1, that shows that you're just feeling it right now.
Yeah, well, both of these guys are no strangers to our CSC Challenger Series. They've been in this before. They played in it. They understand how to, the online kind of remote play game here. So, Brett's just playing that touch bit better. Big last.
Neither of these guys I see losing in the loser side, whoever ends up going down there. But if they were to lose this match and lose their next match, they're still guaranteed $400. That's a decent chunk of change. Of course, not as good as the $2,500 bell ring it sounds, but there's a lot of money to be had, and they at least have the comfort of knowing that they're not fighting to get any more or any less.
Agreed. Still some good money to be had. No matter what, where you finish at now is you're going to have some good money coming your way, but you'd always like a little bit more. Big Trip 16 needs another. Grabs it, but he's still not in the lead. So, Brett, does he go for the early 16s here, or does he go for more points? He's going for more points, and then down to the 16s. And that's just been the thing about Brett. He's kept himself out of reach from Brandon tonight. And he's almost just in reach, if any.
Yeah, exactly. He literally has gone first dart point, if not first and second dart point, every single time. He's either been doing 2 at the point, 1 at the close, or 2 at the close, 1 at the point. But he's not going back and forth very often, if at all. It's very much a consistent play style, and it works when you're hitting it. When you're being able to follow your strategy consistently, it makes you almost seem unshakable. Brandon Neal with one last opportunity here. Needs all 3 darts to find the triple on the 15. If he does so, he is still hoping for Brett to miss, but gives him a good chance. Anything less than that is going to be a scary situation for this leg. Goes for a very aggressive close on that 18. He's going to be going down in points, but it's less than a 50-point reach, so it's going to be, I believe, a 4-3 bull race here, kind of challenging Brett Hollinday.
Well, just kind of let you know where Brett is right now. Well, maybe not. I'll hold the phone because it's going to be a little bit better now, and then I'll tell you where he's at here in just a second.
And that's exactly what I was talking about. That was the big risk. Brandon Neal goes that second dart, closes that 18 down in points, kind of challenging him to a bull race. Well, guess what? If the other guys go in trip 15, double bull, single bull, your plan kind of goes to shambles. That was some great stuff from Brett Hollinday, being unwavering, and Brandon Neal catching a bad break on a huge outshot from Brett.
Well, currently in this match, Brett's at a 4.95. He was at a 4.91 going into that leg, and with that 5.38, he's increased to the 4.95, so above his average currently for the CSC.
And that's what you kind of expect to see, right? When you see these players, averages kind of go out the window when you're playing a competitive match. I know you're a tournament player yourself. You notice that when you're playing your normal league match, your normal practice session, you might play great, but you tend to play either better or significantly worse when you're playing in a tournament. These guys are guys that tend to prosper in those situations.
I would agree, buddy. Yeah, I agree with the tournament play side of things. I rarely get to play any league play anymore, but when it comes to tournaments, I always seem to step up my game just a little bit more than I'm used to.
Well, I hope you've been stepping up your game, because this is my official call out, the NDA. I'm going to take you on for a game or two there. Maybe a best of 3 wager who dyes whose hair. I'm just saying. I'll throw some wagers on that one.
Buddy, we'll record it and put it out for everybody to see. You get your butt kicked if you want.
Ooh, that's a lot of talk from some guy that's just talking about chives.
Okay. All righty.
All right, I almost didn't bring it up the whole stream. Look at Brandon Neal, though, just dominating this leg. He's very frustrated with how the last couple of went. He wants to finally get one on this side of the break, and is doing so in style, averaging a 5-5 and 1 bull away from getting his 4th leg on the board.
Brett only averaging his 2nd leg in the 3s right now, too.
It's a little bit of that match point anxiety, wouldn't you say?
Oh, definitely. Let's see what he can do here. Into the double bull. And trip 20, it's a 5.57 for Brandon Neal.
Of course, player advantage is in play right now. So up until it's 8-6, Brandon Neal gets to go first.
to find the triple here. Does find it. It's only a 4 mark, though.
A big little bump from him on that third dart. You can see how much adrenaline is coming in from the last leg there.
Massive 7. Massive 7 for Brett. You can smell the blood in the water, I think.
Does he take the look? He does. Very aggressive look. I like the strategy. I like the idea. But in that situation right there, he needed to slow down like his normal self and stay on that 17, stay disciplined. He threw it really fast. And Brett right now going very wide, consistently throwing 7s as he throws another one there, putting Brandon's back against the wall once again. And right now, this might be the last time Brandon gets an opportunity to stay in a leg. Does do what is needed, though. 7 mark on those 17s keeps him alive and well, forcing Brett here to have to hit at least the 4 mark before having the point advantage.
Continues to hit the triple, though. How about another 7 mark as he's gone all 7s in this leg? 3 of them so far.
Disgusting. Actually gross. Oh, sorry. I was reading the comments on my Tinder profile.
There you go, buddy. Oh, I'm sorry.
Brandon Neal throwing a 5-5 and looking distant in this leg. I purely believe just because that extra shot, the 19 there, is why it's going so ugly. Is look at that, another 7 mark.
Back to back to back to back 7 marks from Brett Hollinday in this 13th leg. Trying to end this right here, right now. Neal needs a big one here. Needs to find 2 triples. There's one. There's another. He's trying to stay alive.
And that was expert placement. That first dart going to the top end of the single, he has to move over, decides to use it as a backboard, riding that barrel right in. That shows a good control and efficacy of dart usage. And now afforded himself an opportunity here. A 9 mark can change everything.
I'm never biased, but come on, Brandon Neal. Let's go, buddy.
Omaha.
Let's see if you can put one in here and make this interesting. Make this 8-5. 2 legs on the spin. Here we go. Big triple. He can now take a look. You got to go back here. He does go back, but it's only a single 15.
He shot it the right order. No matter what, you have to take a look in that situation, some aggressive closes, because you're running out of numbers. Let's see if he'll get another opportunity to do so. No, he will not. A double 15 on that third dart there from Brett Hollinday. And now this is getting really dicey. If Brandon Neal gets a double bull, he should look at some closes here, otherwise staying there all day.
Takes just a second before he steps to the line. Does a little hop and settles in. Big double.
Excellent shot.
Yeah, it's a 4 mark there. I think you thought there was a little bit more. You kind of double checked there. Oh my, this could be the game, and it is. Brett Hollinday with a 6.0 in the last leg to win it. 9-4.
To a 5-4-3 from Brandon Neal that did everything he could have, did everything right, played phenomenal. Let's just taking a look here. I mean, he has a lot of support in the back, a lot of people clapping. He carried himself so well, and unfortunately did not come out on top, but he is not out of this event yet. But everyone has eyes on Brett. If you weren't looking at him before, you're looking at him now, because he came in, he was one of the top averages. He's now the top average and has consistently proven why he's the top average.
Yeah, that was a impressive display from Brett, who I just added all those averages together. It was a 4.92 this evening. So 0-1 above his average currently in the CSC Challenger Series. So kudos to him. That's impressive, man. That is an impressive average. For Brandon Neal is a 4.32. I know he's going to feel a little bit upset about that one, averaging below his current CSC average. But honestly, Brett just came out on fire tonight, and Brandon was unable to put a couple pieces together in those legs. He didn't have the start, and that kind of shut the door on him. What do you think?
If I was in Brandon Neal's shoes right now, I would not be sitting and going home saying, I wish I played better, because that's why I needed to win. Because yes, obviously, if you average higher, if you play better, you're going to win, right? What he should take away is that was a brick wall. How do I get over it? And so that way next time it doesn't happen again and I'm doing that to somebody else. He needs to stay motivated and take this as a learning opportunity, watch the match footage, lock himself in the basement again and hit the practice board. And he just knows that tonight, the better dart player, Brett Hollinday, was a beast. He could have beaten almost anybody in Division 1 with those stats.
Yeah, I agree. And next up for Brett, it'll be either Jeremiah Berger or Daryl Cortez. We'll see who awaits him there. I'm just taking a quick peek here where Brandon Neal will end up. And I'm not finding it. I think
he's going to be in the 5th, 6th slots.
There we go. He's going to be probably waiting on that top half.
Yeah,
is where I would imagine. So he'll either be waiting Larry Keith or Aaron Ham or Chris Watson and Chris Alexander. So that's gonna be some tough matches there.
Literally everybody left in Division 2 has the capability of taking it all. Now, when you watch Division 1, there is bigger average differences. There is clear favorites. There is people that you expect to see in the finals, the king seat, the 3rd place matches. I look at Division 2 right now, and I think if you're putting money on any individual person to win, that's a bad bet because they all have a great shot at taking it home.
Oh yeah, they really do. Brett's definitely a favorite right now with that kind of average, as he's definitely out in front of everybody. But we're gonna see. It's still a long road ahead. That king seat spot also, that can be a good thing, but it also can be a harmful thing, as you got some time to wait as well. So who knows? Who knows? You'll have to wait and see as we continue on with the CSC. Monday night, we'll have another Division 1 matchup for you. Let's just take a quick peek and see if we can give that to you. Yes.
It's going to be Kevin Schmitz and Kenny Doyle.
There we go. So a fantastic matchup as we get Kevin back on the stream, taking on Santa Claus there, Florida Santa.
Yeah,
and
the rabbit.
Kenny Doyle. Yeah, looking forward.
The rabbit and Santa. Oh, also, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there. I was going to say, this will be our first time, hopefully, if everything goes well, looking from Kevin's perspective. We have new cameras in the South End Bar, which is going to be super exciting. Of course, Kenny Doyle playing out of the one and only Skybox in Kissimmee, Florida.
There we go. We're looking forward to it. More cameras, more action here in the CSC Challenger Series, brought to you by Partners Promoting Darts. Thanks for joining us tonight for our coverage of Brandon Neal versus Brett Hollinday. We'll see you next time on Monday night for Kevin Schmitz and Kenny Doyle. William Stuart here alongside me tonight. Nick Dichiria. We'll see you next time.
I miss
Take
Sean.
care.